Public regarding agenda items. That's items that are on the agenda that the public wishes to comment on. If you have other comments on matters not being addressed at this meeting, you can save them for the end. All right, if there are none, we will then move to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We will have a roll call vote because we have a resolution to be approved.
Mayor Foley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Atwater?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Councilmember Altieri?
Aye.
Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. On to the mayor's report. Give you all a break. We obviously it's raining. That's about the mayor's report today for the weather. Thank you for coming despite the bad weather, everyone in the room. Most of the items that I would report on are actually up for a vote now. So the collective bargaining agreement, the septic to sewer conversion are all going to be addressed in the context of discussion with probable item. There's a couple of questions that were presented concerning the issue of open carry of firearms. The chief is going to, give a brief discussion about that when it comes time for him. That's your heads up, just to let us know. Generally what it means while it's still in effect. All right, we then have a council member item number 7A, which is a request to reschedule the February 26th, 2025 town council meeting. I'm, of course, amenable as council is to accommodating that. Is there a proposed date other than February 26th?
Yes, I would propose that the February council meeting take place on either the 17th, 18th, 19th, or 20th of February. Any one of those 4 days.
All right, any one of those days are fine with me, 17th, 18th, 19th.
18th does not work for me, but
Okay.
otherwise the others are good.
Any preference?
All fine by me.
17th? Does that work for
17th.
staff? Yes. Okay, so the motion will be to change the, I take it Council Member Carroll's making a motion to change the date to February 17. Is there a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are officially changed to February 17th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the advance notice. All right, discussion with probable,
I have one item, council member.
I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
Just quickly, this comes under the category of the gift that keeps on giving. Republic Services continues to reach out to our citizens and ask for money for bills. My next door neighbor got one of those phone calls yesterday, automated call saying that she's in arrears on her Republic Services bill. And another member of my community had previously spoken directly with Republic Services at their 1-800 number with regard to the billing errors, and he managed to get the same person again and brought this up, and the person said, well, our system does not allow these calls to stop. So just thought to give a heads up to those in our town. The only thing I'm concerned about, and I've expressed this before, that somehow erroneously they don't report it to credit agencies, impact somebody's FICO score, because that'd be a major problem. And if that would occur, we couldn't get that fixed, I would suggest a lawsuit. So.
All right, thank you. Staff, I know you've been in communication on it. Do you think it's time for a strongly worded letter from the town attorney holding them liable for any such damage?
We can do that, Mr. Mayor. I will follow up on the Vice Mayor's comments. For every one of those that we've been made aware of, we've made direct contact and addressed Republic on behalf of the residents. And I know that staff, I'll note Lucy in particular, shares or potentially has greater frustration given the level of communication that we've had with Republic and sometimes the failure of the left hand and the right hand. So we continue to do that, and we'll do whatever at the council's pleasure. However, I have communicated with Republic Services about issues related to the credit reporting and fully expecting any issues that may come up in that regard to be addressed by Republic themselves. So that's where we are right now. Hopefully, once October comes like a kidney stone, Republic will pass.
Yes, and a kidney stone is usually very painful. You know, I would just like to note that I appreciate everything our staff has done. I know they have. But I think you should point out to them that it is not the responsibility of the taxpayers of Indian River Shores to be performing the work for Republic Services. Maybe a threat of a back charge against them for our time would get somebody's attention. Okay?
We'll get something out by the end of the week.
Thank you. I take it nobody wants to see it before it goes out. We trust. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Item 8A. Approval of ordinance number 580, solid waste, recycling, and yard waste, which is the second reading. Before we go to council, is there any discussion from members of the public on the approval of ordinance number 580? This is the second reading. Seeing none, is there any discussion from council?
One point, I know this is a second reading, but in the description of ordinance 580, which is the proposed ordinance, it's on page 94. In section 54.03, the second paragraph doesn't read as it's currently constructed. So I'll read it slowly and you can pick up the gist of this. All costs and billing for collection of solid waste, recycling, or yard waste shall be negotiated by the franchisee. Each multifamily unit owner or such unit owner's designee shall, and then it ends there. So,
Yeah, good point.
so I think before it becomes an ordinance, we ought to
Yes.
try to address that.
Thank you. I think the legislative version just didn't translate. Absent any objection, we'll seek some guidance from the town attorney. There would be nothing substantive there, the actual reading of it. And thank you, council member. I apologize to the council that got through. Designee, and it would be shall pay in a timely fashion. But I think we would just need to, don't want to wordsmith it too much here.
That sounds like the solution. Shall pay in a timely fashion. Failure to pay in a timely fashion shall create a debt. So I think you nailed it.
I agree with the vice mayor.
That works for me.
Then when it's, obviously when it's not in legislative version, it'll be reflected appropriately in the,
Right.
in
Does the
ordinances.
word change accommodate your comment?
Yeah, oh yes.
Okay, great. Do we need to do another first reading of this?
Mr. Mayor, no. I consider that, as Mr. Hartwig said,
That comes under the Scrivener's errors?
Scrivener's error and lack of translation
Provision,
from the
okay.
machine. But just to clarify, it would read then, all cost and billing for collection of solid waste, common recycling or yard waste shall be negotiated by the franchisee, and each commercial or multifamily unit owner or such unit owner's designee shall pay in a timely fashion, period. Failure to pay in a timely fashion, and continue from that point on. Does that make sense?
It certainly does. All right, thank you. As long as it comes within the Scrivener's error, because you know these clever lawyers, if we didn't do this the right way, somebody may say, I don't have to pay my bill for this one. Yeah, I know. All right, thank you so much. All right, with that change, is there a motion to approve the ordinance? I'm sorry, we have to have a reading now
Yes,
from the
sir,
town
Mr.
attorney.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
it got me out of my rhythm.
No problem.
Go
I
ahead.
apologize.
No worries.
This is ordinance number 580, an ordinance of the Town of Indian River Shores, Florida, amending and repealing sections of the Code of Ordinances of the Town of Indian River Shores, Chapter 54, Garbage Collection, to reflect changes consistent with a new franchise agreement, providing for a business impact estimate providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, providing for Scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. This is the second reading. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Is there any further discussion from council concerning ordinance number 580 as amended? Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Foley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Atwater?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Councilmember Altieri?
Aye.
Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you very much. We have item number 8B, which is the approval of ordinance number 581. This is a non-ad valorem capital special assessment. That sounds scary, but it's not. It's basically kind of a complementary ordinance to what we were doing previously on the agenda. So if there is any public comment, now is the time. Okay, no public comment. Any comment from council? Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Mayor, may I?
Oh, you have to read the title.
Very quickly.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Ordinance number 581, an ordinance of the Town of Indian River Shores, Florida, a municipal corporation relating to special assessments, creating a new chapter 103 in Title 9 of the Code of Town of Indian River Shores, Florida, the code entitled Special Assessments, providing findings and procedures for levying special assessments, providing a business impact estimate, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, providing for Scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. This is the second reading. Thank you.
All right, with that, motion to approve? And a second by the Vice
Second.
Mayor? All right, and a roll call vote, please.
Mayor Foley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Atwater?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Councilmember Altieri?
Aye.
Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion passes unanimously.
All right, on to item 8C, approval of ordinance number 584. That's an amendment to section 165.16, substantial improvements. This is a first reading. I'll ask our town manager just to briefly explain what the ordinance is intended to achieve, what the amendment is intended to achieve before asking for public comment and moving on further. And then the town attorney can read the magic language.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Council. This amendment is as a result of Senate Bill 180. It's a statutory requirement which the legislature it dictated that any ordinances that have any time frame associated with a substantial improvement evaluation, that time frame be deleted. Currently, the town had a one-year period for consideration of substantial improvement, and this ordinance simply removes that.
All right, is there any comment from the public? There being none, is there any discussion among council?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
This ordinance, 584, indirectly relates to the impact of ordinance 588, which has to do with substantial improvements, which also has to do with the mandate with respect to BFE and first floor elevations. So, you know, I have a particular interest in that. I was brought to the attention of council last year. I haven't lost interest in it, would probably like to revisit that. So because of that interest, I went back and looked at the legislative history of SB 180. And I can't find any language in the statute or in the legislative history which would direct a municipality such as ours to extinguish any reference to a one-year period, stacking period or a look-back period. In fact, when I looked at the notes to the bill, there's a specific provision which says, bear with me for 1 second. For a local government that is participating in the National Flood Insurance Program, the bill provides that the local government may not adopt a cumulative substantial improvement period, also known as a look-back, that is longer than 1 year. The bill defines cumulative substantial improvement period as the period during which an aggregate an aggregate of improvements or repairs are considered for purposes of determining substantial improvement. So, to my reading, the one-year look-back period in our existing ordinance did not require attention, is not specifically called out in the bill, and it has an effect on Ordinance 588 because frankly, one of the ways to tamp down the economic effects of 588 and the substantial improvement provisions of 588 was that homeowners, developers, contractors under the existing ordinance were able to stage improvements such that they would extend beyond 365 days. And if the improvements extended beyond 365 days, it triggered another stacking period. That's lost when you take away this provision. And so I'm not in favor of it. I probably will not vote in favor of this ordinance. And I think what I would ask is that we take a step back between now and next month's meeting and take a fresh look at the legislative history of the statute, how it impacts our building code and our LCD, and particularly how it impacts Ordinance 588, and how it impacts the economic impact to our constituents, and I include in those constituents homeowners, builders, contractors, the people that have a particular interest in real estate in Indian River Shores.
All right, so there's an awful lot to chew on in your comment. Is your request that we table 8D for further discussion or a presentation from council to explain the issues that you raised and then put it back on the agenda for October after that presentation? Is that the motion that you're making?
I think that's fair, yes.
All right. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All right. So we're going to have, so the motion is to table 8D and pending a presentation from staff to more fully address your issues and to put it back on the calendar in October. So there's a motion, there's a second. We'll have a roll call vote on this. So Councilman Dane, how do you vote?
Any vote?
How do you vote on the motion that you seconded?
That it be addressed in October?
So it's an aye?
It's an aye.
Okay. How do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Carroll?
No.
Aye.
All right, and I'm going to vote aye as well. I don't fully understand the comments that were made by the councilman, and I want to give staff an opportunity to raise it, and that's why I'm voting aye for it.
Same here as well.
Okay.
This is a very convoluted piece of legislation. There's been a lot of discussion about it. It doesn't hurt us in any way by waiting a month, does it? With the state with the state in some manner?
No, it
Okay.
does not, Council.
No. Okay, so the motion carries. We will essentially delete item 8D from action, have a presentation in October, and put it back on the calendar for consideration after that.
Let me just point
Yeah.
of clarification on the motion. Was it definitely to the October meeting, or was it to be tabled? And it's important because if it's simply tabled, it would have to be brought back from the table at a subsequent meeting. But if the motion maker was setting it for the October meeting, then it will be on old business at that time.
His motion was to make it in October.
Okay.
So,
Right.
so we can move on with it. I'm pretty comfortable
Yeah.
with this issue. I just want to give an opportunity for the councilman's issues to be addressed before I vote on them.
Understood, Mr. Mayor. Yep, no, we're clear. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so staff is all clear on this? All right, good. Glad somebody is. Somebody's taking notes.
So just for the record and to help Jim and Pete, my reference was to the Florida House of Representatives bill analysis relating to Bill CS 1535 and also actually specifically to SB 180.
And Mayor, Council, Jim and I will get together, make sure also have Mr. Held involved so we can have a full comprehensive discussion prepared for you. Thank you.
Understand. Thank you very much. Appreciate the work you'll do on this. And I'm confident we'll get it all straightened out in October. Thank you for your comments, Councilman. Item 8D, which is the approval of the interlocal cooperation and coordination agreement with the City of Vero Beach Road Paving and Sewer Improvement Project. Basically, we refer to that as septic to sewer. So can you kindly explain what your agenda item encompasses and what you're asking us to do?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council. In 2023, the legislature passed a law mandating septic sewer connections by 2030 where sewer was available. Right after that was passed, began discussing this issue with the City of Vero Beach, who is our water, wastewater, and reuse water provider. The primary goal was to coordinate with the city their activities related to septic to sewer conversions for those public streets where people were still on septic within the town. And to do that concurrent with the town doing our road repaving and stormwater infrastructure upgrades. So we had 2 roads that were scheduled for paving and stormwater upgrades. Both of those roads have, all the homes are on septic. So we are coordinating with the city for a variety of reasons, both, cost, operationally, administratively, and essentially to make it as less inconvenient as possible on the residents so that they don't have to have their roads torn up essentially on more than one occasion. Additionally, we've been able to arrange with the city for any of our residents that are on these streets to have the ability to have the assessment for the cost of the hookup, which is incumbent on the property owner, to be either paid in a one-time lump sum payment or amortized over a 10-year period on the tax bill, which is not an unusual process for these types of special capital assessments. So this interlocal cooperation agreement lays out some of the more practical operational pieces relative to the general idea that the town is paying for the road and the stormwater portions of this project, and the city is paying for the septic to sewer portions of the project, and it identifies some other administrative and procedural things. This is attendant to an ordinance that was previously passed, and then in November, you'll see a resolution related to this project. And again, I overlay that this is analogous to the solid waste transition from direct billing to an assessment. So this interlocal really lays out the obligations and responsibilities of the city and the town relative to some of the practical pieces of the actual project.
All right, thank you. Before we get to the mechanics of the ordinance, is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on this? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, neglected to just add one thing.
Yep,
the
sure.
city approved this morning at their council meeting earlier today.
Okay. Does anybody care to comment now? Didn't think so. All right, thank you for the addendum, though. Is there any discussion among council? And I'll kick off the discussion. First of all, thank you for the work that staff put into this. I know it wasn't easy. And we can be thankful that we don't have the numerosity and the complexity of converting from septic to sewer that some of our neighboring jurisdictions have. It's going to be a lot more expensive and a lot more time consuming. All right, any discussion? Is there a motion to, I'm sorry, can you kindly read the?
Mr. Mayor, as this
we
is
don't.
just an
Yes.
interlocal, we can
Yeah.
move to vote. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's take a roll call vote on this.
A motion to approve.
Yep. There's a motion and a second.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Foley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Atwater?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Councilmember Altieri?
Aye.
Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion passes unanimously.
All right, good. Thank you very much. And it's good to know that the City Council in Vero Beach passed this ordinance as well. All right, item 8E, it's the approval of the collective bargaining agreement. That's the 3-year agreement from 2025 to 2028. I know that council is fully aware of the issues because we've had, as per statute, a number of meetings on this, out of the sunshine, for lack of a better word, which is permissible on this issue. The public is welcome to comment on anything that they want on this collective bargaining agreement. And if not, we will see if there's any further discussion among council, absent which we'll entertain a motion in a second. Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Let's have a roll call vote.
Mayor Foley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Atwater?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Councilmember Altieri?
Aye.
Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion passed unanimously.
All right, thank you very much. Item 9. Staff updates. Building official report and statistics.
Mr. Mayor, we have Building Inspector and Code Enforcement Officer Mike Krantz here. He's going to stand in for Mr. Held, and he'll be here for himself.
All right, so you can do A and B. We'll call
sir.
A and B. Building official and code enforcement report.
Yes, sir. For the building department monthly report, I do not have any updates. If you do have any questions, try and answer them. If not, I'll direct them to Fred.
Okay, so that finishes building official report and statistics.
Did a hell of a job.
Now let's see you go to B for what you make the big money, okay? Let's go to 9B.
The same with the monthly code enforcement report. I don't have any further updates on any items. Any questions?
Anything? No, you're on such a roll. Why don't you do C and D as well?
Sure.
Vice Mayor has a comment?
I just like the reformatting of the report. I think it flows a little bit better rather than doing chronological order. See, and I've already said this to the town manager at some point. It'd be nice if you guys could figure out some graphs of the statistics, going forward, because you guys have a lot going on.
Yes.
And it's good that we know about it. So.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think we're all set till next month.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
9C, Public Works. Mr. Harpering, you're going to take that, I take it?
Yes, the only thing to note outside of the report, FPL met with some of their subcontractors. They are going to begin the work on the wall, the additional higher wall on the substation at the end of Fred Turk that council had approved not too long ago. And they have, really this is more from a resiliency standpoint. They have staged new transformers back there, and they're doing, they're getting ready to do a lot of work that I think will be very beneficial to the residents, in as much as they are continuing to harden that particular location, which is important to us. And other than that, I don't have anything else in particular.
Any council members have questions for the Public Works Department? The hat being worn by Mr. Harpering. No? Okay. We'll move on to Town Treasurer, 9B.
Good afternoon. I really don't have any other updates to my reports. I did have the auditors here last week to start the planning for our 2025 fiscal year audit. They've finished that, and they will be back in December to complete the audit at that time.
So wait a second, you're working on the 2025 audit, unlike some other locations in the county. Okay, just was wondering about that. So, sorry, I couldn't resist.
All right. So we're well ahead of the game. So thank you very much, and appreciate it. Public Safety Department.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So other than the report which was submitted, I could discuss the open carry law.
It's just, because I brought this can of worms up, just a couple of concerns by by citizens who are not interested in carrying weapons openly. They're just wondering if we're going to turn into the Wild Wild West. I assured them we had nothing to do with it. It's not our ordinance, but I know that you're probably better able to speak to it. I don't see it as becoming a big issue in our town, certainly not by our residents, and let's hope I didn't jinx it by saying that.
Hopefully not, Mr. Mayor. So back on September 10th, Florida's First District Court of Appeals ruled that the law banning the open carry of firearms was unconstitutional. That law had been on the books in Florida since 1987. What it did was it allows the open carry, like on the hip, to be seen in Florida beginning on September 25th, 2025, which is on Thursday, this Thursday. The ruling, actually, let me back up. The Florida Attorney General has directed law enforcement not to enforce the previous ban on open carry up until that time. So right now, since September 10th on, or maybe it was the 11th, I think it was the next day, they came out and said, we're not going to prosecute these cases. So,
Is there a statute that allows it?
there is, and I don't have it.
okay.
I believe it's 916. I want to say it's 916.0. I could get it for you,
That's
sir.
okay.
The ruling does not allow for open carry of firearms in places which were previously prohibited, which would be schools, courthouses, detention centers, polling places, or any private businesses that prohibit carry. For our part, we have had officers go out to all of our businesses, starting down at 7-Eleven, CVS, moving into Oak Point Plaza, and then across the street here, letting all of the business owners and the workers know that this is now a thing, and they may see somebody walk in with a firearm on their hip. It is possible. Don't panic. They can always call us out. We'll come out, but there's really not much we can do right now because it is not a law. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Can the business tell somebody, a potential customer, that they don't allow?
They can. A private business can have that in place to say we don't allow firearms carry in our business.
Is open carry allowed in this council chamber during a council meeting?
So, no. However, there was a little bit of a loophole when they talked about that one, when they talked about government places. They included handguns. They did not have rifles in there. So it is possible that you could have somebody walk in openly with a rifle and it would not be against that law. They're looking at that right now. They're trying to fix that loophole, but there's no direction right now on that.
Okay, so that loophole is the result of the law, not as a result of the court ruling?
Correct.
Okay, but a long rifle, I presume, is not allowed in a court chamber, correct?
No, not in the court chamber.
Yeah. Okay, just said, all right.
Interestingly, if I made, the courts made haste to, once the implications of the ruling was realized, the courts made haste to begin to issue administrative orders relative to the areas over which they had control, which are the courthouses and the courtrooms. Very briefly and interestingly, the district courts of appeals didn't have the same kind of ease in doing that, but they're looking at that as well as the court that obviously rendered this opinion. So the quote-unquote long gun exception, as it were, still is in existence. I've been involved with my former colleagues in many discussions about this and peeling through the protected places statute and so on. That is where it stands right now. And we will respect all of the law and everything that has to happen consistent with public safety.
So what are the rules with respect to concealed weapons?
Concealed weapons, previously you had to have a license, you had to have a permit for it. Same thing, that's kind of been stricken down now, and they can carry concealed as well. As long as you're not, there's obviously certain restrictions. Felons with prior felony convictions are not allowed, and there's certain classes that are not allowed.
And the same exempt places?
Yes, correct.
But you would need a permit for both types of carry, right? Open carry and...
No, you don't need a permit now. That's what the open carry is.
You don't need a permit to have the gun and carry it?
Correct, sir.
Mr. Mayor, Council, to follow that, what's referred to as constitutional carry. So, and it has done an excellent job outlining this, but in short, in Florida, right now, if you're over the age of 18 and otherwise have no legal restriction, such as being a convicted felon or adjudicated otherwise, you are allowed to carry virtually any legal firearm anywhere in any public place in Florida. Sidewalks.
Right, so just to calm people's fears down.
Yes, yes.
In order to obtain a legal firearm in Florida, you still have to purchase it from a licensed firearm dealer, go through the quick background check.
Yes, sir.
So
Correct.
I have a conceal and carry permit, I'm happy to say that. Before this ruling, if it were 100 degrees out and I was carrying, I had to conceal it, meaning I would have to put a jacket on. Obviously, people could see the silhouette of the firearm, but I would still have to have a legally purchased firearm. So this doesn't open it up to no restrictions on purchase. So the point of purchase is still going to be during the pendency until this gets fixed, and I do believe it will be. The point of purchase is going to be the natural break on guns for everybody. So,
Correct.
But I mean, you just have to call it what it is. It's a stupid ruling. So, there are better ways to do things than to do this. So hopefully a legislative solution will be happening in quickly. The legislature doesn't go into session until January, and I don't think anybody's going to call a special session to deal with this. So.
And Mr. Mayor, to follow that, and maybe most importantly for this body and this town, is that the area of firearms is completely preemptive to the state. Florida Statute 790-33 is one of the most equivocal and clear statements that no town, county, city, municipality can regulate firearms in Florida whatsoever. So regardless if we were a million population or like some of our smaller brethren, we have zero ability to do it. I just want to clarify that because, as you alluded to, this is not something the town has any ability to regulate or do anything about. It's purely either a state matter or, quite frankly, it hasn't gone to the Florida Supreme Court yet. I don't expect that will happen based on the procedure policy, but this is a court ruling. So the only fixes are either a subsequent court ruling or a legislative act by the state of Florida.
But a private business, which pays taxes and is open to the public, that private business would be able to put a sign up saying no weapons?
Yes, that's the prevailing view, and in fact, you're starting to see some of those things. In fact, I think some of the national retailers are starting to even think about that, just given the danger of the size and scale of having people come in. Multiple people come in with firearms, it presents a dangerous situation, objectively.
Yeah, that's the consensus. So it reminds me of one of my trips through Texas, and pulled off to a bar and grill to get a bite to eat, and it said firearms must be checked at the door, will be returned upon clearing your bar tab. So businesses may be doing that because, as you mentioned, bars are one of the locations where you cannot carry a firearm. So hopefully this is just a kind of a blip of fun stupidity jokes that we look back on and say, how did this even happen? But thank you for remaining diligent. We also don't want to put the town in a posture where an opportunistic litigant, kind of dupes law enforcement or the town into doing something that then results in a massive lawsuit, which is not only expensive to defend, but the damages can be pretty heavy too. So,
That's correct, Mr. Mayor, and I did make sure that all of our officers, our sergeants, our corporals, we've been doing training on this. We're aware of the changes in the law. We're staying on top of it, should anything be updated. And I should point out that it doesn't preclude, like, if somebody's carrying a firearm, they can't threaten someone. I mean, the law still prevails over things like that. I mean, as long as they're being calm and there's no issues, otherwise that would be another issue.
Well, once again, thank you for all you do. Is there anything else for public safety? Any other questions?
The only other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if anybody's seen, just so you know, we've been putting a drone vehicle out overnight for the last roughly a month, mostly in the south of town where our ungated communities are, in order to deter any criminal activity that may happen at night. So you might see that out there. We remove it during the day and put it out again at dusk.
Great. Perfect. Yes, Vice Mayor?
I get the sense that people, drivers along A1A are getting more accepting of the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. I don't have people right on my bumper in the southern section of town. I'd be curious as to what the opinion in you and the chief is on that. Is that getting better, or?
Absolutely, Mr. Vice Mayor. As a matter of fact, one of the other things we did the last 3 weeks, we've had our traffic enforcement sergeant, we changed his hours and days up. So he's actually been out afternoons rather than during the day. Normally, he would be out there from 7A to 5P. We actually changed him up from 12P to 10P. We actually changed some of the days, so he's kind of interspersed without, so that there's nobody gets a hint of, oh, these are the times he's out there, let me slow down.
Okay.
In that time period, which I believe it started September 9th until now, I just checked it this morning, I want to say he's only had 14 stops, and it's not for lack of trying. He's out there. But I do believe, actually, I'm sorry, I think it was half of that. I think it was about 7 stops. Not for lack of trying, it's just we're not seeing it as much anymore. And the
Good.
speed trailers help as well. There's
Sure.
one in the south and there's one in the north.
Generally, what percentage of stops lead to a warning as opposed to a citation?
I don't have the exact number, sir, but I would say probably 70 to 80% are warnings. Most are, residents or state residents, and we tend to give warnings the first time.
All right, and I also noticed that my car that did not have the database, showing the speed limit going down, now does. So no longer an excuse for anybody who uses Pivi Pro. But it took a while for that to recognize that the speed limit was no longer 45, it was 35. So what's your phrase? Educate, encourage, and then enforce. So, I think it's paying off. So thank you for your patience with our public, and thank you for all you do. So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Council.
All right. Mr. White,
Can the business simply put up a sign saying no firearms inside? Is that what I read?
I believe they can. It has to be across the board,
actually, it's probably not a good idea for the officer to be giving legal advice on the scope
I'm
of,
sorry.
yeah. So, did you
My
have something?
question, in other words, can a business put up a sign, please do not enter with firearms? And
It's probably
therefore-
not a good idea to ask me as an elected official either. This is an area that's in
Well,
flux.
what's the law on it?
That's an area that's in flux, and, the town attorney is going to have to give us guidance on that. So,
Mr. Mayor, I would agree with you. There is no clear-cut rulings on this. Clearly, the purview of what the ruling at the first DCA is applicable to public areas. So I would encourage this gentleman to consult with his counsel and coordinate with us. We certainly want to make sure everybody's in a safe position.
right. So, to put it in just practical terms, if we give legal advice to somebody and they follow it, and it turns out wrong, we're liable. So they're going to have to consult their own legal counsel, and then they can ask us, is this against any ordinance in the town? And we can reply, no, it's not. So that's how it's going to have to go.
I
So,
believe I read somewhere on your private property, you can restrict somebody from having a
yeah,
gun.
yep. Well, that's something that they're going to need to figure out, with their own legal counsel. We cannot advise on that.
That's not
Some court tomorrow could decide that what you read in the paper is wrong. So, and then we've given advice that's wrong on that. So, unfortunately, we can't do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, and thank you for the question, Mr. White. All right, town attorney.
Mr. Mayor, I have nothing else to add. I'm happy to answer any further questions on this or any other issues.
Okay, that answer any other issues, that leaves you wide open, but we'll just move on.
I had a feeling we were under a time crunch, so.
Town manager report.
We're not.
Yeah.
Nothing additional, just to note that though it is September, we've anecdotally seen a few car carriers already for people returning. So I For whatever that's worth, I think it's noteworthy in terms of all of our appreciation of maybe the difference in how people are coming back and how long they're staying, and as opposed to, maybe what we've seen in decades past. But other than that, I don't have anything else other than what was previously reported.
All right, thank you. We'll move to council and committee reports. Councilman Dane, do you have any meetings you've attended? Again, it's the summer, so the meetings are winding down.
There was no League of City meeting this time.
Okay.
I can faithfully report that the Utilities Commission meeting was canceled.
Okay, that's a pretty good prediction.
Do they ever have a meeting anymore?
It's one in October coming up.
Amazing.
I mean, there's a lot of construction going on over at that new plant location, and at some point, they were talking about raising $75 million in a short-term loan, so I haven't heard anything on that, but where are they getting the cash from? So.
All good.
Maybe, I'm sorry, maybe they're waiting for the finalization of their audit report to be able to go to a bank and get a short-term loan, so that's possible, so.
All right, well, thank you for those comments. I would not take a bet on DraftKings as to whether or not the fall meeting will happen with the Utilities Commission, but all right. As for me, Treasure Coast Council of Local Governments was the only one of my committees that met last month. South Florida Water Management gave a very interesting presentation. Most important among the items were the responsibilities that the Water District has for water supply, water quality monitoring, ecosystem restoration. So unbeknownst to me, the water districts now have expanded jurisdiction to deal with some things. Not sure they got more money to do it. And they're in charge of python elimination. So only because I love technology am I telling you this, because I think it's pretty darn cool. They have robot rabbits that they've deployed into the Everglades to lure the snakes out and then make it easier for them to be trapped and removed. I asked if drone hawks are coming, and they said, never make a joke that you don't know the answer to. It's like cross-examination, don't ask a question. They said, well, we can't say they're going to look like hawks, but yes, they are coming. So, looks like there's a solution on the horizon for the python proliferation. Blue-green algae, we've had a better than expected year. So that's good to know because it seemed like it was pretty hot. I will leave these notes with the town clerk if anybody wants them, and you can feel free to contact Sherry McCorkle, South Florida Water Management District representative, who said she welcomes all and any comments and questions and inquiries. So that's it for me.
Okay, there was a meeting of the Beach and Shores Preservation Advisory Committee, and during that meeting, they announced that Sector 5 beach replenishment is going to be starting soon. At the very south end of our town is Sector 5 starts. It's going to be starting at Range Monument number 72, so that'll start after turtle season. And speaking of turtle season, it has been a record year. Usually what happens is you have a very strong year one year, and then it dips the following year. That has not been the case this year. And if anybody walks the beach along our Sector 4, you can see that the turtles love the new dunes. They've been climbing up and beating them up pretty good, like little mini bombs exploding. So they like them. So that's it for me.
Nothing to report.
All right, terrific. Now's the time for the public. Mr. Wyke, do you have something to add?
Rod White.
Yeah, you can. We know who you are, and we know where you live. More importantly, so.
Everybody else thinks they know what I have to. Two things. One, this morning, we have a traffic problem. I tried to get out of Bermuda Bay this morning, and center lane was filled with cars. I couldn't cross over. They're going north to turn into Johns Island. They park in the center lane. And I'm coming out. I couldn't get across. Finally, a truck moved back, and another car moved forward, and I snuck through, but then I couldn't see oncoming traffic. It's been a problem we've had before, and we had the police there last year directing traffic.
Sorry to interrupt, are these workers entering Johns Island, or,
Workers
okay,
entering Johns Island, going northbound, entering on the west side. Now, the east side is closed, so that used to block our entrance also. But now it's still the center lane is blocked with cars parked. So I would hope we could get the police back out there in the morning. This, like 7:15 to 8 o'clock becomes a problem, and it's quite dangerous. When I kind of sneak through, I couldn't see oncoming traffic. I was lucky I got through.
all right. Chief Public Safety will work on that with Johns Island Security, hopefully, and we can,
Johns Island
yep.
Security doesn't have any part of it.
Yep.
They said, no, that's not our problem. That's the town.
Well, I understand that, but, you know, they've been helpful to us in the past when we explain to them, you know, what we're trying to do and getting the word out among the workers, and the word filters down. So that's the process we used last year, so let's give it a shot and see how it goes. You have a second item?
Yeah, the second item is in regards to the maintenance building that's being built in Johns Island. I talked to the building official on it, and unfortunately Fred's not here today. They have a communications tower up. On the original plan for that building, they're taking down their communications tower on the plan, and on the new plan for the new building, it did not show a communications tower going up. And there's a communications tower there now that, by estimate, is at least 70 to 80 feet high, much higher than the old tower that was there. And I believe it's not legal, it's supposed to be no more than 35 feet high, I think, if I remember right, it being on planning and zoning board, and it has to be camouflaged. And the other thing about that building, it's a commercial building, correct? However, it's in residential zone area. Was there a variance offered for it? Nobody here, I'm sure can answer that question for me, but the building is a commercial building. It's been enlarged. They took down a lot of trees. There were some of them that they were necessary to take down, and it's very visible now. Although it's a very nice looking building, don't get me wrong, but there's also been parked there these storage containers, shipping containers. And I don't think we allow that either in our town. Now, I don't know if they're there just for the construction, but I believe they were there before also.
Oh, all right. So, Mr. Harpen, can you get with Mr. Held and just kind of do a survey of what's going on at
I'll
that
look at it
site?
tomorrow.
And then report back to council? And
I'll look at it tomorrow.
And,
Case of first impression for me. I'd not heard it before, so I'll
right.
take care of it.
That's terrific. That's why we have public comments, so we can bring it up to you, and then he'll get back to you once he's done his investigation.
One other thing on that, we had that similar tower on a police building, and before even the cell tower went up, we had taken it down. Because it was an eyesore at that point, and the police department wasn't even using that tower anymore either. And I don't think they need a tower anymore nowadays with cell phones. Why would you need local communication? But the tower is slightly unsightly. I mean, slightly, yes, very unsightly. And I'd like to see what the story is on that. And then again, the zoning problem. Is a commercial building allowed to be on residential zone property?
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, we'll have a survey of the issues he raised done, and then we'll get back to you, and he'll get back to council to us and let us know what's going on with it. All right. So appreciate it. Yep. Thank you. Really do appreciate it. Thanks. All right. Is there anything else? If not, we are adjourned until 5:01 p.m. and we will start promptly at 5:01 p.m. All right.